Because if it's in a list that of things that you want, and it was, you know, in the queue of things that you wanted for previous years, like it means something, right? Okay, so I will start with the hat because it's a smaller project and it's a smaller project. So the hat is the Puhalipa hat. I have talked about this pattern for a long time. Sorry about this poor leaf. As you can imagine, this mister played with it. So it's a bit sad. So sorry that you have to see it, but otherwise she's been taken care of well. So this is the Puhalipa hat by Raina something. And I really like it. I used the green main color is Red Rosaria Pomar yarn, and the bees are very subtle because I didn't go with a high contrast yarn. It is a spine cycle yarn, and spine cycle yarn, if you didn't know, it's not hand dyed gradiently. It's actually roving that they dye gradiently and then they spin it. And that's why even in some sections like here, you have two colors, not just one. It was because it was colored and then spun and plied together. So I really like it. I love it. It fits my head perfectly. I didn't really block it because, as you know me, I don't really believe in blocking. And I'm not sure if I want to put a pom-pom on this one. I just like that it has this more rustic vibe. I'm not sure if you can see it here or like this from this side because there's the light. And I like this rustic and simple fit that it has. So adding a pom-pom would really take that for me. And I really like how my hair is a bit more grown, and I think it's really cute. What do you think? Yeah, I think so. So that's just it. I guess, you know, there's not so much to talk about a hat. It's if you haven't done color work, it's not very difficult to keep up. But some sections have bigger floats, and I actually in the lower in the first bees I did cut them, you know, in between. Like if there was a gap of 9 stitches, I would catch them in between, so I don't have very big floats. But when I grew into the other bees, it kind of didn't matter because I'm not gonna put my fingers, you know, right up here, so I will not stretch it or do it. So yeah, if you can see, my floats up here are huge, while here they're just smaller. The guy, hey, she's scratching her neck and her ID is making this noise. Sorry for that. Sit, sit, good girl, bravo, bravo. Of course, Enzo was just about to sleep on me when I wanted to do this podcast, and I was like, really? I was going to get up, and then I was like, maybe I should do this podcast, you know, laying down on the sofa. That would have been weird, right? Okay, so yeah, that's just it. I don't have any much to say. I'm happy that I chose this yarn. I'm happy of my... Hey! Enzo! Okay. There's nothing more to say about the design. I find it really beautiful. There's also a sweater with the same bees. I really like the hat because it's small and nice and cute. I'm really happy of the choices of the yarns that I chose. For the choices of the yarns that I chose, like really, is that a sentence even? But yes, I'm happy. I like that it's a bit more of a rustic yarn. It's fingering, but this rustiness and vibe makes it really different from the other hats that I have. And actually, even with the color work, because it's more not so bright colors, it makes it like my most serious hat, if that's even a thing. Yeah. Anyways, that's just it. Okay, just let me put my handbag on. Today it was really cold, but I wasn't in the mood to wear a hat, so I figured out, oh, why not just put a headband? Actually, I should need some headbands right now. But anyways, that's it. So the second finished object, I can't believe I have two finished objects, is, you know it, you've seen it on Instagram. It is my Untangled shawl by Andrea Mari, and this is a shawl that needs 4 skeins of iron weight, and I went and grabbed my favorite base in iron and DK, actually, is my Gaia base, which has a bit of Donegal, and Donegal is what it looks into yarns that gives this look of kind of bit of tweedy. So you start from this point, and then you just knit some rows, and then you knit a short row, and you finish it with a bubble. The technique that she uses to make the bubbles, and that I used also, was to do the bubbles with a crochet hook. I find it's the easiest and fastest way, so I just went with it. I haven't really done a lot of bubbles, and I have to say that this project made me very comfortable to make them, so I'm really excited. And there's lots of new patterns coming out with bubbles and little details like that make a cute change, and I'm happy to be comfortable with it. Okay, so actually you alternate this kind of sections where you have some knitted rows, a short row ending with a bubble, then you have some brioche, and then again the section with the short rows and bubbles and brioche, and again the short row section and brioche, and again a bigger short row section and brioche, and then you have this big panel. And actually this longer panel that alternates the skeins, the colors of the skeins, had another extra stripe, but I didn't have enough of the main color. The main color here is the greenish one, which is my ugly duckling colorway, and I ran out of it. Why did I run out? Actually, there are 2 reasons. First of all, I never do gauge, I never swatch, so my gauge was bigger, and actually it doesn't even matter for me for this kind of shawl because it's so big. Like, even if I didn't add the little yellow colorway, which is Albus Dumbledore, and I would have finished up until here, like, it's so huge that it won't even matter. Like, when I wear it, you won't even see it. Actually, I'm holding it. I like to put it like that. You won't even see it. You see? You see? I'm telling you. You see? Yes, I see, Liz. But yeah, and actually I always take a little shortcut in my knits somewhere along the way, and that's what some people in France are referring to, do it à la lise. So yeah, so I just pulled an à la lise, and I actually thought, if I cut one section it wouldn't matter, but if I cut 2 it wouldn't matter either, but I just wanted for it to be a bit larger and for me to be in a good space in my consciousness or whatever, that I just cut 1 section in the end and not 2. And I was looking at my leftovers, and I actually didn't have lots of iron weight leftovers, but I grabbed in the same base some DK that I had in Albus, and actually I wanted something red or orange, but I'm actually very happy that I didn't go for orange but yellow, and I think it just gives such a great balance. So yeah, I just adore it. And about blocking, you know that I'm not a big blocker, but what I did with this one, because it's a shawl and it's a nice large one, I just put it into water, and as I was rinsing it, I just pulled it up, like that, and the water kind of stretched it, but actually I didn't, I didn't hold it up like this, so the brioche didn't, you know, got very much stretched. I just pulled it up like this, you know, lengthwise. And then I just took out most of the excess of water, and I rubbed it into some, how do you say, towels, and I just laid it flat for a couple of days for it to rinse normally by itself. And I'm really happy with it, you guys. Really happy with it. I have been living in it since I finished it earlier on this week, and I really love it. I just wear it like a scarf, but mostly I like to have it like a bandana look, and it's really amazing. Like, even another look that I adore, and you know, well, if you're following me, you know that I like to put stuff over my head. Okay, like that. And then you just wrap yourself and you put it down. I also really like this style. Yeah, it's just gorgeous, and it's really worth it. It's like a blanket shawl, really. So, yeah. I'm even wondering, like, you know, fingering weight shawls, make them in DK. Like, you have one skein fingering shawl, just buy 2 DK and make it worthwhile, and just go with it and use the whole shawl quantity. Yeah, I really love it. It's really nice. So this is Untangled by Andrea Maury, and I'm telling you, you have to make it. So with this occasion, I had some more yarn in stock that I hadn't dyed, and so I did. And if you want, you can go and grab it in my website, which is www.trillies.eu. And sorry, that was weird. And you can also get some Era base, which is my merino high twisted fingering that I will no longer have. The Era base goes from a fingering high twisted to a light sport high twisted merino base, and now I have in the shop the last skeins that I have, and you can have 15% off if you put the coupon get me some Hera. I think that's the correct one. I will just write it down for you to be sure, for you to write it down, and it will be on until the 14th of February. I figure out St. Valentine's is a nice way to remember, you know, and give yourself some love. What else? I also prepared a new colorway for the Birth Yarn Festival, which is having a club. Each month there's a different dyer who's making a colorway, and I'm very excited to be a part. So I will be the dyer for March, but we're working with pre-orders. So the pre-orders will get out the 1st of March in Birth Festival Yarn website. I actually did 2 colorways, and I haven't yet decided which one will be launching for the festival yet, and which one will be later on an official Trillies colorway. So I'll have to see. I haven't decided. I wish I could show you, but I can't. Sorry. But yeah, not sorry. Some people were interested about the application that I'm using when I don't have a written pattern. So I will do a video about that. It's noted, so I will not forget. And that's just it. I wish I could talk to you about more stuff, but I really have to go. And I really wanted for you to look at my finished objects that I'm so proud to have finished. Yeah! Tell me in the comments, have you finished something recently, or are you about to finish something? Let me know. Lots of kisses. Bye!